Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is the final video of this series. I'm so sorry that I am uploading very late. Anyways, so I basically just want to construct this sole, and I'm tacking my pattern paper I'll be using for my pattern to my last, so that when I want to trace it out, it is much easier for me to trace out. I don't have a stapler. A stapler would have been much more better, but I just wanted to tack it, and after tacking it, I'm just going to trace the shape of the last. That is basically what I'm going to do, trace out the shape of the last. And then after tracing it out, cut it out. I'm removing the tack nails and then cut them out, and then we prepare for the sole. So yeah, after cutting it out, I'm just checking to make sure that it is the exact size and everything. And this is what I'm going to be using. This is a crepe. It is very light. I think it's about 2 millimeter or something, but it is very strong. This is what I'll be using for the sole, and I'll also be using it for the heel. So yeah, I'm just tracing it out like normal, cut it out, and then after cutting it, I am going to go ahead to smoothing and file the sole. And you know how we do this now. You apply gum. This is not filed, so you can easily pull off whatever gum that you apply currently at this particular point. So if it's filed, you know that it will stick perfectly. But now that it's not filed, I'm just going to apply a little gum, just so that it can hold the pair together, and I can file them together and do everything that I have to do together. Make sure that the sole and everything is to my liking. So one leg is not better, or one leg is not is smaller or bigger than the other. So that is one of the reasons why we file the pair together, basically. And then after the gum has dried, the gum I applied has dried, I place the pair together and then go ahead to file. So yeah, after filing, I also file for the heel. Like I told you, I used the same crepe for the heel. I just stacked it a little. This is a fiber board, and this fiber board is what we are going to be using. This fiber board is a stiffener too. You can use it as a stiffener for your insoles if you want to use an EVA foam or mako or whatever. But for now, this is the fiber board I'm using, and then I am just going to mark out each I'm going to mark out the pair and then cut it out. And then after cutting it out, I am going to show you the next step. So yeah, the next step, we're going to be constructing what I'll call the half sole. I don't think it's actually called a half sole, but I'm just going to call it a half sole, so that when I say it, you know that is what I am talking about. So this piece of paper here is the half sole. Basically, I measured, or I made a pattern same from the sole, from the balls downwards. Okay, that is basically it. So this thing doesn't really have a measurement. The one I used, I just measured from the balls downwards. And I'm also going to be cutting another pair piece of my fiber board, and that's what I'm going to be using. And in between these fiber boards that I will cut out is where I am going to put the shank. Also, I'm going to be showing you guys the kind of shank that I'm using, and I'm going to be showing you or telling you some of the benefits that I have observed from using this particular shank that I will be showing you. So basically, I'm just cutting out the half sole from the fiber board, a pair obviously, because one for each. And then after cutting it out, the next step will be to make the shank. When I say make the shank, you know that there are you have the iron shank, but basically I like using iron shanks when it comes to heels because I think it is more sturdy. However, usually when I make shoes like this, even if it's male shoes, female shoes, flats, basically, I use fiber board as my shank. just the way I am making it now. And I tell you that it's still going to give it that sturdiness. It's still going to be very strong. Okay, back in the day, old shoemakers, they did not use iron shanks. Some of them even used to use bamboo sticks. As long as it is strong enough to give it a little bit of form or stiffness, it will work perfectly. So most times, this is what I use. I use my fiber board as a shank. There are different kinds of fiber boards. I use this thick one as a shank. So I applied gum on the sole and then the half sole and of course the shank. And then I am going to place the shank on my sole. So some people place this shank how am I going to explain this now? Okay, so the way I am actually placing this shank is that I am not placing it under my insole. I am placing it in between. Okay, so some people place their shank under their insole, that is under this main fiber board. You place the shank and then you add your half sole, sandwich it under like that. I really don't know if there's a main difference. I seriously don't know if there's a huge difference, but I just like doing mine like this because I feel it to give it a little bit of curve. If there's a main difference, because I don't know, please leave it in the comments. I really want to know, and it's all part of the learning process. So after putting the shank or my makeshift shank, I'm going in with my mallet so that it is strong enough, and then I'll reapply glue on the top of the shank and everywhere so that when I place the half sole on it, it is perfect. So like I said, I'm placing this on top of my main fiber board. I am not placing it underneath like some people do. I am not discriminating that. I just don't know why they do it. I've done it both ways and I still don't really know the difference. So that is why I do mine like this. I mean, if there's really not much difference, why not just do it the way I like it anyway? So yeah, this is how I like to place mine. And then after placing it, you see this edge here, right, where my hand is, that top, the beginning of the ball point, right? I will go ahead to skive it. If you do not know how to skive, try using your filing machine or drill bit just to skive that place and make it flush against your main fiber board. It makes it less thick, and it makes it perfectly. It just makes it stay perfectly, right? So I'm just going to go ahead and skive that part, skive it so that it's flush, and this is what I have now. I already did it, skived it or file it, whatever thing that you are good with, please go ahead to do it. Next step, this is a mako 2, right? This is a mako 2. It's very flat, so I think it's a mako 2 or an EVA foam, whatever you call it. So I'm going to place it on top. This is basically how I'm constructing my sole. Please, if you do not like it or whatever, you try doing it your way or explaining your way to me. Maybe next time I can do it that same way. So I'm using here, and the reason why I'm using here, this part of this EVA foam is very smooth. Okay, that is why I am just using my hand file to file it down so that when I apply glue or apply gum, it stays. When I apply glue, it stays. So after doing this, after applying glue on this mako, I'm also going to apply glue on my fiber, right? And then I'll place it together, cut it out, and then attach it to the sole, file everything together so that it's the same size and everything, and then Okay, so yes, I have done it just the way you're saying, and I told you I'll apply attached it to the sole so I could file everything together so it's the same size. Anyway, this is it. I have my mako on top, I have the half sole, and then I have the shank and the main fiber board. Anyway, so I'm going to put this foam. I'm showing you the two difference. The one I'm using is actually very light. I think it's about 2 mm. And there's a bigger one. There are thicker ones, but this is the one I'm using. And you see how I was able to cut out this, in case you are going to wonder, is that half sole the simplest way, the half sole that I cut out, I just basically removed 1 centimeter around it to make it this tiny. So I used 1 centimeter around it. I didn't show the video, but that's basically what I did to get the pattern for this foam that I am using. And I'm going to use it because I want it to be very soft on the feet. This particular 2mm mako is actually not as soft as the others, okay? So that's why I am using it. And now I'm just applying gum at the sides. And the reason why I'm applying gum at the side is because I want to slip the edges of this foam that I put on. Because now that I just applied it, the foam is actually just there on top. I'm sorry, I should have even showed you guys. So I'm just applying this gum around the edges, so that I can slip down the foam with my fingers, and then everything will just be okay, just on top. You also give it that puffiness, that ready puffiness. So that's another reason why I like it. If you can skip using this foam, you can actually just skip it. I just like to use it so that it makes person's feet comfortable. You can skip it. And then when your gum that you applied is dried, you just use your fingers to slip down the edges of the foam. I did not allow mine to dry completely, so I had a little bit of issue. This thing is foam now, so it's very soft. You can easily pull off. I didn't allow mine to dry completely. So when you're doing yours, please allow yours to dry perfectly, and then you slip down with your fingers, basically. And then after doing this one, I do the other leg. And by the time I'm done, I'm going to put it on my faux leather. This is the one I'm going to use to cover my insole. And the way I'm doing it, I'm not doing this the normal insole way. The way that you would just wrap your whole insole. I'm not doing it like that. I'm basically just covering the top because it's a shoe and the sides are going to be covered, right? So I'm basically just covering the top. That's what I'm doing, just cutting out the required material for the top that I am cutting out. After marking it, I'm cutting each of them out, and then after doing this, apply gum, the normal, apply gum, and then apply gum on all pieces, and then stick them together when they are dried. Okay, so now that the gum I applied is dried, I'm just going to place them and then use my finger to trace out where the foam is, and then go in with something blunt like the back of the scissors, like you see me doing, just to make that part with the foam more pronounced and puffy, to give it that puffy appearance. So yeah, basically. And then I can because you already slipped the foam before you added it to your faux leather or whatever you are using, it will make it more puffy, and you see how pronounced it's looking. First, you can just go in with your hand to try and just slip it, and then you go in with the blunt object, whatever, if it's a scissors, anything, or a pen, then you go and trace the edges of it just to make it more pronounced. And yes, that's basically what I'm doing. So gently, I'm just going in with my mallet very carefully. I'm just going in with my mallet, cutting out extra pieces. I don't want to go again and start filing all over, so I'm just cutting out the extra pieces from the faux leather that I used, and that's basically it. So yeah, my insole is ready. Next is the last thing. So I already tacked in the insole to my last. I'm using these tacking nails. I'm also going to be using these pieces of front sleeve, and I already went ahead to file the allowances so it can stay. And then next, I'm going to place it carefully. If you notice that I marked some parts in my last, so just so I'll know the points that are important. So first, I'm going to go here with the 12 o'clock position, which is that front, and you can see that white dot there at the back. That is actually where my back height is, my counterpoint is, sorry. And I'm just making sure that it is actually there. And then when it's there, I go in with my tack nail again and hold it in place. Already the thing is snugged to this last already. Okay, so next I'm going to go with my 10 and 2 position, or we can call it the ball points. I'm going to go there and then tack. So yeah, and when I tack the 10 and 2 position, you would already start to see the shape of your shoe coming out already. Okay, it's not really necessary to tack the back, because as long as it's already being held at the counterpoint, it's fine. But if you want to go ahead to do that, that's okay too. So yeah, you go tack. Note that while I'm tacking, I'm actually kind of lasting it, only I haven't applied gum yet, so I'm actually kind of lasting it just so I'll see how it turns out, basically. And then I just go to other spots, just all these other sides like Jara, just go to the other spots, I don't know what to call it, and then I tack it. Okay, so now that everything is in place just the way you are saying, you can see that you can already see the whole beauty of it. Now, if it's other shoes, we would have to separate the whole lining from the upper, but we're not doing that because the back is actually glued or attached to the upper, so it's just the front that actually kept space. Remember that at that front we did not apply gum all the way. This is also one of the reasons why, because now we're going to be separating the upper from the lining, so everything is tacked perfectly. I just went ahead to tag the second one off camera. So now I want to separate, and then starting from where the separation actually starts, I'm going to start opening it up just like you can see, and then tack just the lining. Okay, so starting from where you did not apply gum, you will obviously see it. It's obvious, it's very obvious, so starting from where you did not apply gum, you start separating and then tacking just your lining. And that is basically what I'm doing. So the more you go around it, the more you are able to open and separate your lining from your upper. So yes, that's basically what I'm doing. And then at this point, it's completely separated, so we'll be able to add our front sleeve just to give that front a little bit of shape. So yes, while you are tacking this lining, please make sure it's actually very snug or tight on your last, okay? Because if you have some excesses, some wrinkles, it is going to be pronounced when you put your upper on top of it. So you need to make sure that everything is smooth and straight, okay? Take your time, don't be in a hurry whatsoever. Take your time, okay? Even if you don't get it on the first try, you can keep going. Trust me, if you don't get it on the first try, you're definitely going to get it on the second try, but most likely you will get it on the first try. And this is the stiffener that I'll be using. And I already went ahead to file down this stiffener, so it is not very strong because I don't want it to actually be very strong. So I already went ahead to file down the stiffener, and now I am applying gum on the leather. That is the allowance, obviously the lasting allowance, and then the insole and everything, so that when I last from here on is just lasting because everything is perfect, everything is staying where it's supposed to stay. So that's basically what I am doing now. Okay, so after applying the gum, I'm going to last now. Note that the tacking nails I use in tacking the insole, holding the insole to the last, I remove it before I fold in the allowance, because once you fold in your allowance, you might not know that you have a tacking nail there, and you might start having an issue trying to remove your last. Okay, so now I'm just going ahead to fold it. Know that I already tacked it, so everything is already where it's supposed to be, everything is already straight. I just have to fold it and kind of also hold it tight. Basically, that's what I'm going to do. And then note that again, it is just the line. For now, it is just the lining that I will be lasting. Okay, so when I get to that part where the lining separates from the upper, I start lasting just the lining, and I also last the back. If this is a male shoe or any other kind of shoe that will require you to add a back stiffener to, you would have to use this process all over. But because I do not want to add the back stiffener, I just want to add a stiffener at the front. That is why I am only exposing the front of it. So maybe in another video, when I'm making one that has that I want to put in a back stiffener, I would have to show you guys another technique of lasting. But basically, this is it. So remember, remove your tack nails. Okay, don't be in a hurry, don't rush. That's what I'm doing. I'm carefully removing my tack nails, following with my hand, making sure, because some tack nails you will not know that there's tack nail there, and then when you want to pull the last, you start having issues. So carefully last, making sure that it is straight. We do not want any wrinkles on it. Okay, and then you can go in with your hammer or mallet as you go, and yeah, that's basically it. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, share this video to your friends, save this video, whatever it is you want to do, and then leave a positive comment, please. However, if you do have something to contribute, like an input on the processes that you have seen now, like, oh, this is not how I usually do it, there's another easy way, whatever thing, please leave it in the comment section. I will be going through it, and I will really want to learn and understand your own techniques. So yeah, I'm back again to the back where I started, and just completing my lasting process, or rather halfway done, because I haven't added the stiffener yet. So yes, please pardon this video. I was having storage issue, and then light and battery, the whole angle is off, but I hope you can see. So basically, I'm just applying the stiffener. I applied gum on it, and then now I'm applying the stiffener. And then in cases where you have to also trim down or skive your stiffener so that it's not showing, you have to do that. But me, I already filed it down before I even placed it, because I don't want it to be too bulky. So you just have to place your stiffener carefully. So what I like to do is that some people actually go ahead to last the rest of their stiffeners, but I like the allowance, but I don't do that, so I just cut it at the edge there. And yeah, and then if I have to scarf down any place that is not flat, I'll just do that. Go ahead with my hammer, making sure that everything is okay. So yeah, that's basically it in putting your stiffener, so now it's okay on it. And you know that our upper is not actually leather, it's also kind of like a fabric, so we don't want it to be too bulky, which is also why I'm just going in with my hammer and trying to beat it down. Although not like it was bulky anyways, because like I said, I already filed it down. So you have to do that, and then make sure that everything is perfect, everything is okay. And then after doing this, I'm going to apply gum on the stiffener now that is placed and everywhere, just like you see now, and then carefully just drop down the upper on the stiffener. And yes, that is basically it. And now that I've done that, I can now go ahead to complete the lasting process, just like you're saying. So now I apply the gum at the lasting allowance, allow it to dry, and then complete the lasting process. If you like this video, I want to see more videos from me. Please do not hesitate to leave a like, a comment, so that I'm encouraged to make more videos for you. Thank you for watching. Bye.